This presentation is designed to show you how Making Tax Digital works with Sage Enterprise Management version 11. It is important that your VAT number is correctly entered in the company record in Enterprise Management. This is the first piece of information that links you to HMRC. All of the current setup, BP tax rule, tax levels, tax determination and tax rates are still valid for the extraction of data after MTD, so there are no changes to that part of the product. It is important that the existing setup is returning information exactly as you send it to HMRC without any intervention. It is possible to make adjustments and comment on them, but they will not be backported into Enterprise Management under MTD. All of the work that we need to do now is done in an area of the product called Declarations. There are 4 functions here that we need to look at. The first of these is V80 Boxes. This function tells Enterprise Management exactly how to extract data both for reports and for the submission to HMRC. The first tab shows the structure of the boxes equivalent to the VAT 100 form. Also in here you can see formulas for adding lines together to make boxes 3 and boxes 5, but you can also see the calculations when you are receiving VAT back from HMRC or are due to pay HMRC. This is the construction of all the items that go into each of the boxes for the VAT report. Here on line 1, you can see the values going into box 1 from the tax account in Enterprise Management relevant to the tax code GB001. This is of course linked via an accounting code with the rule of domestic tax. This structure allows you to collect all of the relevant accounts for all of the relevant tax codes that need to go into each box. Enterprise Management is delivered with a presetting for the UK market, assuming you have used the standard setup. As a user, you can amend by adding or deleting any of these lines that you don't require. It is important that this structure is correct. When you come to extract data, any tax code that is in Enterprise Management database that has data against it that is not in this structure will give you an error message on a trace report so that you can go and amend this structure. The next function we need to look at is V80 Forms. V80 Boxes enabled us to collate the data for each of the boxes. The V80 Form allows you to collect the data in each of those boxes and give a structure to the extract that you will have on the report and in the submission option. When these are first set up, all of the header fields are available for amendment. Once the form has been used, the only field that you can amend in the header is the valid to date. This form only needs to be completed once unless there are major changes in the VAT format for information in the future. This allows you to extend the date every year unless the format changes when you will need to create a new format record. The format can be copied between folders. We then need to run the British Declaration. This is a new report and now shows data in box by box by box detail, followed by a total showing all the values that go into the 9 different boxes. You need to enter the company, choose one or all sites, choose whether you're going to launch based on invoice information or payment information or both. Set your starting and ending period dates. The system will generate a trace file which will give you an error message if you have any tax codes used in records that are not set up in the VAT boxes. Also within the VAT boxes, you do have an option to collect information for tax codes that are out of scope for VAT. This gives you the ability to check the data that is in there, and that can be extracted by using the field at the bottom here, off declaration detail. This report only works in simulation mode. It cannot be run in actual mode. There is no process that runs behind it. You click on OK. The data is collected. We can now review the report. The first report we will see is a trace file, and in here there are no errors. Errors lines will show in red with an explanation of what the error is. And we can then open the report. The report is now shown box by box with the detail as required. So as we asked for, B1, box B2, box B4, box B6, B7, B8, B9. Boxes 3 and 5, of course, are calculated boxes and do not appear on this report until we get to the summary, where they do, and you can see here that boxes 1 and 2 have been added together. Final part of this process now is to submit the VAT return. Let us create a new return. We choose our VAT form. We choose our company. The tax number is returned from the company record. We choose our tax year. And at this point, the first time you create a VAT return in the process, the system will attempt to link to HMRC. For you to be able to do that, you need to have a registration ID and password provided to you by HMRC. You cannot get that information until 7 days after you have submitted your final return in the pre-MTD process. This is the first screen that you'll see when you connect to HMRC. What you are doing here is granting authority for enterprise management to connect with HMRC. You need to sign in using the information that you have been given. Click on the Sign In button. Once you have connected successfully, a pop-up window will confirm your credentials. The HMRC website will send information to you about the next period they believe you need to return, and will give you a code here. The return type, in this case quarterly, that is changeable, can be monthly, can be annual, depending on your agreement with HMRC. We can ask for a log, and then we can enter our starting declaration and ending declaration dates. These must match the dates, or at least be within the dates of this period here. Anything outside of that, HMRC will not accept it. The system will not allow you to put in a return outside of these dates. If in a previous period you have missed some data and you wish to collect it on your next return, you can include unextracted entries with a date from, so that you can pick up entries prior to this current period that you are loading, and they will be added into the return. We would now extract the data, and the extracted data now appears on the VAT to Declare tab. And the data in this screen here should agree with the report that you ran, the British Declaration. If when you review this data, you find that you have missed some invoices, or you want to add more purchase invoices into your system, you can do that and then run another extraction. Every time you run the extraction, it marks the data as being extracted, and you cannot extract the same invoice twice. We can also add adjustments if we so desire. This will not be backported into Enterprise Management. Once we are happy with the data that we have extracted, we can then validate that data. That will lock the return. And once that is locked, we cannot enter any more data. Once we are happy with the data that we validated, we can submit to HMRC. You will receive a confirmation that the data was either submitted correctly or that it has been rejected. You can check the status by using the Check Status button or by looking in the status box in the right-hand top corner of the screen.
If you require any more information, please email us on the address below or call us on the support line. Thank you for watching.